Story 1. And then one day you find 10 years have got behind you. No one told you when to run. You missed the starting gun. Story 2. Did you exchange a walk-on part in the war for a lead role in a cage? Story 3. I know someday you will have a beautiful life. I know you will be a star in somebody else's sky. But why can't it be? Oh, can't it be mine? Story 4. I hate the people who love to tell you money is the root of all evil. They have never been poor. They have never had the joy of a welfare Christmas. Everclear. Story 5. He says, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. Billy Joel, Piano Man. Story 6. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money while you are sitting at the table. There will be time enough for counting when the dealing is done. Story 7. Poor men want to be rich. Rich men want to be king. And a king is not satisfied till he rules everything. Springsteen. Story 8. Tired of lying in the sunshine, staying home to watch the rain. You are young and life is long, and there is time to kill today. Then one day you find 10 years have gone behind you. No one told you when to run. You missed the starting gun. Story 9. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing psalms in voices never shared. Story 10. Nothing I could do but yell when these birds attacked me. When I tried to run, I fell, and then the children started laughing. Then I got hit in the neck with a hacky sack. Where did it come from? Story 11. I hurt myself today, to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that is real. Hurt. 9-inch nails / Johnny Cash. Story 12. Shush, girl. Shut your lips. Do the Helen Keller and talk with your hips. From Don't Trust Me by 303. These are the best lyrics because they made me actively look up the song, as I couldn't believe what I heard. Story 13. So I'll watch your life in pictures like I used to watch you sleep. And I feel you forget me like I used to feel you breathe. And I'll keep up with our old friends just to ask them how you are. Hope it's nice where you are. Story 14. Best? Unsure. A great one. Just as every police officer is a criminal, and all the sinners are saints, as heads or tails, just call me Lucifer, because I am in need of some restraint. Sympathy for the devil. The Rolling Stones. Story 15. Love of mine, someday you will die, but I'll be close behind. I'll follow you into the dark. Death Cab for Cutie. I will follow you into the dark. Story 16. Oh yeah, life goes on long after the thrill of living is gone. Story 17. The highway is jammed with broken heroes. On a last chance power drive. Everybody is out on the run tonight, but there is no place left to hide. Together, Wendy, we can live with the sadness. I will love you with all the madness in my soul. Someday, girl, I do not know when, we are going to get to that place where we really want to go, and we will walk in the sun. But till then, tramps like us, baby, we were born to run. It is especially powerful in context after the bridge with the key change, but it just punches you in the gut. Story 18. Time won't fly. It feels like I am paralyzed by it. I would like to be my old self again, but I am still trying to find it. Story 19. You can smell the whiskey burning down Copperhead Road, or Drug Enforcement Administration has got a helicopter in the air, got me screaming like I am back over there, both from Copperhead Road by Steve Earle. Story 20. We were once so close to heaven. Peter came out and gave us medals declaring us the nicest of the damned. Story 21. And I need you more than I want you, and I want you for all time. Glenn Campbell. Profound words. Also, pretty much anything by early David Bowie, pre-mid to late 1970s. Lyrical genius. Story 22. I think I caught his spirit. Later that same year, I am sure I heard his echo in my baby's newborn tears. I just wish I could have told him. In the living years. Story 23. You were right about the stars. Each one is a setting sun. Jesus, etc. By Wilco. I would rather be working for a paycheck than waiting to win the lottery. First Day of My Life by Bright Eyes. Story 24. I am thinking it is a sign that the freckles in our eyes are mirror images. When we kiss, they are perfectly aligned. I have to speculate that God himself made us into corresponding shapes, like puzzle pieces from the clay. It may seem like a stretch, but thoughts like this catch my troubled head when you are away and when I am missing you deeply. Story 25. My eyes convinced eclipsed. With the younger moon attained with love. It changed as almost strained. Amidst clear manna from above. Close to the edge by yes. I just love the delivery. Story 26. Ah, the wars they will be fought again. The holy dove she will be caught again. Bought and sold and bought again. The dove is never free. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That is how the light gets in. Story 27. Broken hearts and dirty windows make life difficult to see. That is why last night and this morning always look the same to me. Story 28. Because I am living on things that excite me. Be they pastry or lobster or love. I am just trying to get by being quiet and shy, in a world full of pushing and shoving. Ask me again tomorrow and I will probably have a different answer, but for today that is the lyric floating around my brain. Story 29. A quiet man of music denied a simpler fate. He tried to be a soldier once, but his music would not wait. He earned his love through discipline, a thundering velvet hand. His gentle means of sculpting souls took me years to understand. The leader of the band is tired, and his eyes are growing old. But his blood runs through my instrument, and his song is in my soul. My life has been a poor attempt to imitate the man. I am just a living legacy. Dan Fogelberg. Story 30. I said, yes, what a concept. I could use a little fuel myself, and we could all use a little change. Story 31. She comes back to tell me she is gone. As if I did not know that. As if I did not know my own bed. As if I had never noticed the way she brushed her hair from her forehead. And she said, losing love is like a window in your heart. Everybody sees you are blown apart. Everybody sees the wind blow. Graceland by Paul Simon. Story 32. And the more I know, the less I understand. All the things I thought I knew, I am learning again. Don Henley, Heart of the Matter. Story 33. I'll miss borrowing your books to read your notes in the margin. The closest I came to reading your mind. The answers to the questions only made more questions. I hope you are never fully satisfied. Story 34. Would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? Would it be the same if I saw you in heaven? I must be strong and carry on, because I know I do not belong here in heaven. Eric Clapton. Story 35. How I wish you were here. We are just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl year after year. Running over the same old ground, what have we found? The same old fears. Wish you were here. Story 36. He said, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet. And I knew it completely when I wore a younger man's clothes. Story 37. This is how it works. You are young until you are not. You love until you do not. You try until you cannot. You laugh until you cry. You cry until you laugh. Everyone must breathe until their dying breath. Story 38. Been dazed and confused for so long, it is not true. Wanted a woman, never bargained for you. Lots of people talking, few of them know. Soul of a woman was created below. Story 39. 1. Love is evil, spell it backwards. I'll show you. Now you get to watch her leave out the window. Guess that's why they call it window pane. Story 40. For me, it's Ani. 2 songs of hers with lyrics that are unreal. Song 1. Here in the calm, before the wars, where the earth shrugs us off like dinosaurs. Song 2. You can talk a great philosophy, but if you can't be kind to people every day, it doesn't mean that much to me. Story 41. Girl, you taught me how to hurt real bad and cry myself to sleep. Dwight Yoakam, Guitars and Cadillacs. Story 42. You call me up again just to break me like a promise. So casually cruel in the name of being honest. Story 43. There were never any good old days. They are today. They are tomorrow. Such a foolish thing to say. Cursing tomorrow with sorrow. Eugene Hutz, Gogol Bordello. Story 44. All I want is the same as anyone. Why am I here? And for how long? Queensryche, Eyes of a Stranger. Story 45. When are you coming home? Dad? I don't know when we'll get together, but you know we'll have a good time. Well, he came from college just the other day. So much like a man, I just had to say, Son, I'm proud of you. Can you sit for a while? He shook his head and said with a smile, What I'd really like, Dad, is to borrow the car keys. See you later. Can I have them, please? Story 46. Strange evolution, how people have come to believe that we are its greatest achievement when really we are just a collection of cells overrated. Story 47. It's not about reciprocation, it's just all about me. A sycophantic, prophetic, Socratic junkie wannabe. And there is so much skin to see. A simple Epicurean philosophy. Oh, and you say I am such a cliché. I cannot see the difference either way. We left things to protect my mental health. But you call me when you are bored and you are playing with yourself. Story 48. Oh, I know the sun must set to rise. Winter's cold, spring erases. Story 49. I know someday you will have a beautiful life. I know you will be a star in somebody else's sky. But why can't it be? Oh, can't it be mine? Story 50. Can't you see what that woman is doing to me? Hank Williams Jr. How I wish you were here. Pink Floyd. I am yours, you are mine, you are what you are. Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Story 51. And then one day you find 10 years have got behind you. No one told you when to run. You missed the starting gun. Time by Pink Floyd. I feel this lyric in my soul. Story 52. Jesus rides beside me, never buys any cigarettes. Drown, drink in the light. God's eyes are closed, just like yours. Story 53. Slip like Freudian, your first and last step, to playing yourself like an accordion. Metal face doom, rest in peace. Story 54. This is my way of saying goodbye, because I cannot do it face to face. I am talking to you before. No matter what happens now, you should not be afraid, because I know today has been the most perfect day I have ever seen. Story 55. You have claimed all this time that you would die for me. Why then are you so surprised when you hear your own eulogy? Story 56. Take a look to the sky just before you die. It is the last time you will. For whom the bell tolls. Metallica. Story 57. Time won't fly. It's like I am paralyzed by it. I would like to be my old self again, but I am still trying to find it. All Too Well, Taylor Swift. Story 58. My father said, Son, you're lucky in this town. It's a beautiful place to be born. It just wraps its arms around you. Nobody crowds you, nobody goes it alone. There's a flag flying down at the courthouse. It means certain things are set in stone. Who we are, what we'll do, and what we won't. Long Walk Home. Springsteen. Story 59. Will tomorrow never come? Will I make it through the night? Will there ever be a place for the broken in the light? Story 60. But there is no sense crying over every mistake. You just keep on trying until you run out of cake and the science gets done, and you make a neat gun for the people who are still alive. Story 61. Do not accept that what is happening is just a case of others suffering, or you will find that you are joining in the turning away. Story 62. Well, I have been afraid of changing because I have built my life around you, but time made you bolder. Even children get older, and I am getting older too. Story 63. I hope that you never get the things you wanted to. Now I cast a spell on you to complicate your life. Hope you get a puncture everywhere you ever drive. Hope the sun beats down on you and skin yourself alive. She was feral with that call-out. It always makes me chuckle. Loud and Clear by the Cranberries. Story 64. When you feel life is not worth living, you have to stand up. Take a look around, look up way to the sky, hell yeah. And when your deepest thoughts are broken, keep on dreaming, boy, because when you stop dreaming, it is time to die. And as we all play parts of tomorrow, Lord know. Some ways we will work and other ways we will play, yeah. But I know we cannot all stay here forever, so I am going to write my words on the face of today, and then they will paint it. And oh, as I fade away, they will all look at me and say, they will say, hey, look at him, and where he is these days? When life is hard, you have to change. When life is hard, you have to change. Story 65. Well, if the Lord wants to take me, I am here for the taking because hell is probably better than trying to get by. Tyler Childers, Hard Times. Story 66. So here's my promise. Don't aim for flawless because some of your best art is made with chalk on your sidewalk. It's gone when you wash it off. It's not made for fame or profits. It's looking back and giving all you got to top it. Story 67. Being smart can make you rich and bring respect and admiration, but the rewards of being pleasant are far more radiant. Story 68. One hand on my shoulder and one on my side. I had no idea that this was goodbye. Give me a hug, was the last thing you'd say, and a few hours later you would just pass away. Story 69. But it feels good to be known so well. I cannot hide from you like I hide from myself. I remember who I am when I am with you. True Blue Boy Genius. Story 70. Stuck in a maze. Everything is okay, but it is not really okay. My life is a death race. I am numbing my pain with codeine rain. I am going insane. Life is not the same. Story 71. And I will go to my grave with the life that I gave. Not just some melody line on a radio wave. It dissipates and soon evaporates. But home life does not change. Story 72. Bird on the horizon. Sitting on a fence. He is singing his song for me. At his own expense. I am just like that bird. Singing just for you. Story 73. Wandering the face of the earth. Wondering what our dreams might be worth. Learning that we are only immortal. For a limited time. Story 74. And nobody told me I would be begging for relief when what is silent to you feels like it is screaming to me. Well, nobody told me I would get tired of myself when it all looks like heaven but feels like hell. Story 75. So close your eyes. You can close your eyes, it is all right. I do not know any love songs, and I cannot sing the blues anymore. But I can sing this song, and you can sing this song when I am gone. Story 76. You are as deep as the grave, and you are marching to the heartbeat of the land. Missed by protest the hero. Story 77. If you should die before me, ask if you could bring a friend. Pick a flower, hold your breath, and drift away. Story 78. There is an emptiness inside her, and she would do anything to fill it, but all the colors mix together, to gray, and it breaks her heart. Story 79. They say death takes you to a better place, but I doubt it. Immortal technique, dance with the devil. Story 80. The whole song Vienna by Billy Joel speaks to me as a teenager struggling with everything in life. Story 81. Lying here in the darkness, hear the sirens wail. Somebody going to emergency, somebody going to jail. You find somebody to love in this world, you better. Story 82. From Linkin Park's With You. No matter how far we've come, I can't wait to see tomorrow. It's really simple, and I'm not one to care much about a song's lyrical content. If it sounds good, I'll listen to it. But that one line always gets me emotional and really helps me keep going whenever I face hard times. Story 83. I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. You could cut ties with all the lies that you have been living in. And if you do not want to see me again, I would understand. Story 84. The book of love is long and boring. No one can lift the damn thing. It is full of charts and facts and figures, and instructions for dancing. But I love it when you read to me, and you can read me anything. Story 85. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on glue. Story 86. I hope it stays dark forever. I hope the worst is not over. And I hope you blink before I do. I hope I never get sober. Story 87. That's a hard one. On one hand, you have this stanza. She be doing things like having those boys come from her neighborhood to the studio trying to fight me. She needs to get a piece of the American pie and take her bite out. That's my house. I'll disconnect the cable and turn the lights out and let her know her grandchild is a baby, not a paycheck. Private school, daycare, medical bills, I pay that. I love your mom and everything. But see, I am not the one who laid down. She wants to stir you up to start a custody war. My lawyers stay down. You never got a chance to hear my side of the story. We were divided. She had fish fries and cookouts for my child's birthday. I wasn't invited. Despite it, I show her the utmost respect when I fall through. All you do is defend that lady when I call you, yeah. But then the other direction. Crazy, but that's how it goes. Millions of people living as foes. Maybe it's not too late to learn how to love and forget how to hate. Mental wounds not healing. Life's a bitter shame. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. I've listened to preachers. I've listened to fools. I've watched all the dropouts who make their own rules. One person conditioned to rule and control. The media sells it and you live the role. Story 88. There is a blaze of light in every word. It does not matter which you heard, the holy or the broken hallelujah. Story 89. Remember all the songs you sang for me when we went sailing on an emerald bay. Like a boat out on the ocean, I am rocking you to sleep. The water is dark and deep inside this ancient heart. You will always be a part of me. Cannot listen to this one without crying. Story 90. Though life is unbearable, somehow you learn to bear it. And all your unhappiness, come on, you have to share it. Story 91. We broke into a million pieces and we cannot go back. But now I am seeing all the beauty in the broken glass. Story 92. Every person has a thinking part that wonders what the part that is not thinking is thinking of. They might be giants. Story 93. Day after day, love turns gray, like the skin of a dying man. And night after night, we pretend it is all right. But I have grown older, and you have grown. Story 94. The roller coaster ride we took is nearly at its end. I bought my ticket with my tears, and that is all I am going to spend. Story 95. You will never hear me talk about one day getting out or why to put a new address on the same old loneliness. Story 96. Is it still over? Are we still through? Since my phone still isn't ringing, I assume it still isn't you. Some country song playing on the jukebox, maybe by Randy Travis. Story 97. How can a person go to work in the morning, come home in the evening, and have nothing to say? Angel from Montgomery, Bonnie Raitt. Story 98. Judith by A Perfect Circle. You are such an inspiration for the ways that I will never choose to be. Story 99. You, my friend, I will defend, and if we change, then I love you anyway. Alice in Chains, No Excuses. Story 100. Let's conspire to ignite all the souls that would die just to feel alive. Not sure if it is the best, but it has stuck with me since I first heard it. Story 101. They call me the hippopotamus. My lyrics are bottomless. Story 102. I heard you like magic. I have a wand and a rabbit. Chapel Roan, Red Wine Supernova. Story 103. Poor old Jimmy sits alone in the moonlight. Saw his woman kiss another man. So he takes a ladder, steals the stars from the sky, puts on Frank Sinatra and starts to cry. Stephen Bishop, on and on. Story 104. I know you are wise beyond your years, but do you ever get the fear that your perfect verse is just a lie you tell yourself to help you get by? Story 105. The times they are a-changin'. Bob Dylan. Come gather around, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept that soon you will be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, you better start swimming, or you will sink like a stone, for the times they are changing. Come writers and critics, who prophesy with your pen, and keep your eyes wide. The chance will not come again. Do not speak too soon, for the wheel is still in spin, and there is no telling who it is naming. For the loser now will later be winner, for the times they are changing. Come senators and congressmen, please heed the call. Do not stand in the doorway, do not block up the hall, for he who gets hurt will be he who has stalled. The battle outside raging will soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are changing. Come mothers and fathers. Throughout, Story 106. Songs are like tattoos. You know I have been to sea before. Crown and anchor me, or let me sail away. Hey blue, there is a song for you. Ink on a pin, underneath the skin, an empty space to fill in. Story 107. The first girl that I fell for was a fair and faithful fighter. She smoldered with a will to save the world. I did my best to help her. Yeah, I stood shoulder to shoulder, on the front lines with my visionary girl. I wish that she had cared for me, but in the end her ideologies occupied the fortress of her heart. I wrote her 15 songs, but still we had to part. And if music was the food of love, then I would be a fat romantic slob. Well, music, it's my substitute for love. The last girl that I loved, she was a low and lusty liar. She set my heart on fire but made me choke. Her beauty was a sight to see, but she didn't save it all for me. I found other fires by following the smoke. I wish that she had either cared for me or let me be, but she chased me from mind and from my home. I wrote her 16 songs, but I ended up alone. And if love is really all that we need, then even all my singing is never going to save me. Music, it's my substitute for love. Well, I've had many different girls inside my bed, but only one or two inside my head. These days, I cuddle up to my guitar instead. But oh, what I would give, not to stumble but to really fall in love, and I could substitute my singing for the sound of someone sleeping next to me. Story 108. Breathe by Pink Floyd. Long you live and high you fly, and smiles you will give and tears you will cry, and all you touch and all you see is all your life will ever be. Story 109. And I used to fly like Peter Pan. All the children flew when I touched their hands. Story 110. Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses. I'd hate to look into those eyes and see an ounce of pain. Her hair reminds me of a warm, safe place that as a child I'd hide. Sweet love of mine. Story 111. I am going to work on my temper while you learn to express your thoughts more clearly. I will be more of a shelter and less of a storm. Story 112. Let my inspiration flow in spoken rhyme, suggesting rhythm that will not forsake you until my tale is told and done. Garcia and Hunter, Terrapin Station, performed by the Grateful Dead. Story 113. I don't have a best lyric, but I do have a song with the best lyrics. That title goes to Time by Pink Floyd. It's the only reason why I can't come up with just one lyric. These lyrics are enough to make it my winner. Tired of lying in the sunshine, staying home to watch the rain. You are young and life is long, and there is time to kill today. And then one day you find, 10 years have got behind you, no one told you when to run, you missed the starting gun. As a bonus, I will also include the entirety of At Medium Pace by Adam Sandler, the greatest love song ever written. Story 114. I'm the one who has to die when it is time for me to die, so let me live my life the way I want to. Jimi Hendrix, If 6 Was 9. Story 115. That's life, that's what all the people say. You are riding high in April, shot down in May. One of my favorites, always a good reality check. Story 116. Fear is the lock, and laughter the key to your heart. Then later, don't let the past remind you of what you are not now. Story 117. The large print giveth and the small print taketh away. Step right up from small change, Tom Waits. Story 118. I don't believe that just because ideas are tenacious it means they are worthy. Story 119. I would tell all my friends, but they would never believe me. They would think that I had finally lost it completely. I would show them the stars and the meaning of life, They would shut me away, but I would be all right. Story 120. How come we've reached this fork in the road and yet it cuts like a knife? Flight of the Conchords have some amazing, funny, yet really witty ones. Story 121. Here I sit writing on the paper, trying to think of words you cannot ignore. Simple, but it hit me so hard when I was a child whose abuse was not believed. Story 122. The way those eyes I have always loved illuminate this place. Like a trash can fire in a prison cell. Like the searchlights in the parking lot of hell. I will walk down to the end with you, if you will come all the way down with me. Story 123. Say it loud, and there is music playing. Say it soft, and it is almost like praying. I am quite fond of the song Maria from West Side Story. Story 124. Like this story I heard a lifetime ago, where a girl, and this is funny, took her life, but what she does not know is how long it takes for the water to rise, and the breath to stop fighting, and the cold to close her eyes. Negative 306 by Emily Autumn. Story 125. I know someday you will have a beautiful life. I know you will be a star in somebody else's sky. But why? Can't it be in mine? Pearl Jam, Black. Story 126. I would take a bullet for you just to prove my love, only to find out you are the one holding the gun. Story 127. Where daytime is a drag, nighttime is worse. I hope that I can get home soon, but the half-finished bottles of inspiration lie like ghosts in my room. Story 128. This all a dream we dreamed a long time ago. Box of Rain. A songwriter talks about a book of poetry a former girlfriend had given him. I must have read it front to back 50 times or so. It's all about the good life and being at peace with the world. It's funny how I loved that book but never loved that girl. Lyle Lovett does an excellent version available on YouTube. Behind the Wall of Sleep, Smithereens. When I got out of college in the 1980s, Boston had a great music scene. Pat, the lead singer, had a crush on the bass player in an all-female band, the Bristols. He tried to get a date, but she wouldn't even talk to him. She had hair like Jeannie Shrimpton in 1965 and legs that never ended. I was halfway paralyzed. Everyone in the Boston clubs knew who he was talking about, and I wondered if she would rather have gone on a date with him and not be the subject of a song. Story 129. Nobody is right if everybody is wrong. For What It Is Worth by Buffalo Springfield. Story 130. I kicked in the door. I yelled my commands. The children cried, but I got my man. We took him away, a bag over his face, from his family and his friends. They took off his clothes, they urinated in his hands. I told them to stop, but then I joined in. We beat him with guns and batons not just once, but again and again. Chorus. A hero of war, yes, that's what I'll be. And when I come home, they'll be proud of me. I'll carry this flag to the grave if I must, because it's a flag that I love and a flag that I trust. Story 131. It's easy to laugh, it's easy to hate. Takes strength to be gentle and kind. Kind of corny Smith's line I love. Story 132. Johnny Rotten is turning in his bed. I was gonna say grave, but he is not dead. Story 133. Once the snake is drowned and, as I look in his eyes, my fear begins to fade, recalling all of those times. I could have cried then. I should have cried then. As the walls come down and, as I look in your eyes, my fear begins to fade, recalling all of the times. I have died, and will die. It's all right. I don't mind. Story 134. And I wonder if everything could ever feel this real forever, if anything could ever be this good again. And yet I find, repeating in my head, if I cannot be my own, I would feel better dead. So close, no matter how far, could not be much more from the heart, forever trusting who we are, and nothing else matters. And if you go, I want to go with you, and if you die, I want to die with you. Take your hand and walk away. Yeah, I got some off the top of my head. Story 135. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I am dying are the best I have ever had. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.